Hi, I'm Konstantin. Today we're going to continue with our playthrough of Sword Saint Konstantin as he marches on Dresden. Let's see. Just making sure a couple things are set up just right. Stand by. Let's give some credit where credit's due. So the reason that I always do the credits is because if it wasn't for Paizo, Owlcat, and all the backers that are out there that believed in having a true Pathfinder CRPG, we wouldn't have this today. And so I'm really grateful. That's why I try to show the credits at least for some part of my videos. And it also makes a great end credits too until I come up with my own. And finally, I really love the music in the soundtrack. I kind of feel like it's underrated, and I kind of wish more people put more attention, put more spotlight on Owlcat's music. One second. Gotta make an adjustment. See, something I don't like about this is that for some reason my sound disappears when I click away. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So bear with me as the beautiful music is not playing in the background, and I'm hoping to God that the sound doesn't play when I'm doing this. Getting everything just a little bit more set up. Alright, so for those who haven't been following, I'll give a little bit of background. This is Konstantin. He was a crusader, and he was there on the day that Deskari decided to attack with his demons. While he was there, he was wounded prior to the entire event, and temporarily healed by Terendelev, and was told to go and enjoy this huge celebration that was going on. Deskari showed up, made a giant crack in Canabris, which is the city that we were at, and that's where my adventure began. I met Sela, I met Camellia, and a few other cool members, and we joined Defender's Heart and a few other Crusaders trying to fight back the demons and rescue as much people as we could. While we were there, we were able to help repel the demons, where Konstantin was able to be a prime figure in that fight. Then, we decided to retake the Great Garrison, which was a huge military fort that belonged to the Crusaders prior to Deskari's attack. And when I did that, an unusual power came out of me. It blew off the roof, as they said. Seeing that brought up morale and faith that the Crusades can finally end, because it's been going on for 100 years. The attack in Canabris was a devastating blow. Now I am the commander of the 5th Crusade by the Queen's order, Queen Galfrey. And while we were setting up camp and moving towards Dresden, which is our goal, Dresden's also another military camp, but it represents the Crusades as we lost it at the beginning of the Crusades. On our way to Dresden, we were attacked by a whole bunch of bugs. We killed that, and then I found this weird potion in our historian's tent. And then, recently, a whole bunch of gargoyles raided our camp at night and took most of our companions away. We just rescued them, fought off a demon, and then that strange power came out again. Now, I'm about to go and question the one person who seems to be related and most suspicious to those events. Alright. So I'm looking for Nora. She had an alchemist fire flask. And when the gargoyles showed up, a lot of the tents were on fire. So I think she has something to do with it. Oh, by the way, I have played this game before, but I missed a lot of the details. So in this playthrough, I'm also trying to 100% it too. So, well, or get the secret ending. So let's see if we can talk to her and glean a little bit of insight about everything that's going on. How can I help you? I'll be glad to help in any way. But how? That's the question. When the gargoyles attacked the camp, what were you doing with that vial of alchemist fire near my tent? Forgive me, Commander. She looks at the ground. Despite everything, I am still quite unsuited to war. I belong in a library somewhere, not on the battlefield. When those beasts fell from the sky, I panicked. The fire, the screams, the monsters, the chaos, I ran to you because I could see you knew what to do. As for the vial, that was completely stupid. I just wanted to arm myself with something, but I knew fire wouldn't work on demons. Why did I grab the alchemist fire and not something that would actually work? I don't know. It's my first time in the wound, but I still haven't learned how to fight. So at this point, Konstantin's like, okay. First, you had the scent that dragged all those bugs to attack my people. Brought down morale pretty bad, and lost a lot of good people there. Then you had the alchemist fire that led to a lot of the tents being burnt up when the gargoyles showed up. Oh, I feel like you're not being honest with me, Nora. Enough lies, Nora. It's time to tell me the truth about what you're doing in this army. You want to know the truth? Her face cringes painfully. Here's the truth. I hate you all. If I'd been there the day Arul Vorlish opened the rift to the abyss, I would have gladly handed her the ingredients for the ritual. I put the pheromone-soaked cloth in your pocket. I wanted those hellbugs to eat your smug face off. I was the one who set the tents on fire that night, and I told the gargoyles who to grab. Every day I was in your army, I did all I could to hurt you. Oh, the things I would gladly do to you, and it would be but 1,000th of what you deserve. She hides her face in her hands. When I was 8, I was auctioned off like livestock. Like livestock. They use a stick to train me to obey. Did the paladins of Mendev help me? Of course not. Even when we passed through the Mendevian city, none of those warriors of good lifted a finger to set me free. Slavers aren't demons after all. Nora looks up and stares at you with eyes red with tears. The first time I came to the wound, I wasn't seeking adventure. My owner dragged me here on a leash. You think the demons bribed me? I was happy to betray him, without a shadow of a doubt expecting nothing in return. I poured a sleeping potion into their soup pot, opened the gate, and waited for the demons to come and tear them apart. And me along with them. I didn't care, but the demons saw the real me. They made me a cultist. They offered me a chance for revenge. I'm here for revenge. I only want one thing, for the demons to devour you all. You, your queen, all your heroic knights, and after that, the whole world can burn for all I care. So, normally I would probably make... I'd probably use what Serenade would say. But for this playthrough, I kind of need to get the Trickster Mythic Path unlocked, and it makes life a lot easier if I'm able to convince her to work with me. So, Konstantin stares at Nora, and he actually tries to understand her pain, where she's coming from. It doesn't justify anything that she's done. He knows that. But from her perspective, the paladins were no different from the demons. The slavers were no different from the demon cultists. So if her life's gonna be hell, she might as well do what she wants. And what she wanted most was revenge. And in a lot of ways, she's right. The Crusaders and demons really aren't that different. They're all arrogant sometimes, worshipping their smug idols, is that right? Perhaps we can work together. I won't necessarily say teach them both a lesson, but to balance the scales a bit. Nora snatches the wand from her belt, ready to cast a spell, but her movement's slow as her words sink in, and she freezes in awe and admiration. Are you serious? I mean, no, you're kidding, right? But how did someone like you become to lead the Crusaders? Just imagine. The shock in Nora's face gives way to vengeful joy. By all the gods, I've long cursed. How about that? Really, burning is too glorious a death for them. Let's put fools' caps on them and let them dance. I don't know how you'll do it, but somehow I know you can. They're waiting for me in Dresden, Commander. I'll go there and tell them some pleasing lies. Let them think they got you. If they don't devour me, we'll meet again in the city, and if they do, then to hell with me. Good luck. If you manage it, oh, we'll have a good laugh at all of them. Waving her hand, Nora opens a portal and dives into it. But I gotta make sure I don't tell anybody what's going on. She has the most information about the demons, and taking her out doesn't necessarily help me. Is this a lawful good action? Oh, heavens no. But this is the path that Konstantin's chosen. And in a lot of respects, I can see where she's coming from. Misguided? Yes. but I don't entirely disagree. Perspective. Yeah. We're up. Put in trickery. Should have put in. Fencing grace. Rapier. Spells. Haste is a must. And displacement. Their second mythic ability should be. I think it's greater enduring spells. I'm gonna do Ascendant Element Electricity. Let's go Archmage Armor. But now she's actually useful. She doesn't have. She'll actually be pretty. You can wear medium armor. Her AC is not bad. Could change shirt. Second Scion. Gonna stay eligible Scion because persuasion. Actually, perception is really bad anyway, so I'm just gonna keep. Let's see. She can cast spells. Okay, so combat reflexes. This is a good hit as well. Dazzling display would be amazing too. Something. Dreadful Carnage. You need 15 strength. I can't get Dreadful. That would be nice though. Oh, I think I'm gonna get Outflank. Dodge would be nice as well. At combat reflexes at level. So she gets 2 spells. I think the play is Cat's Grace. Normally I would do Frigid Touch. I think I'm gonna go with our mythic ability. So she already has Archmage Armor, so her second mythic ability is gonna be spell. Burn spell. Mage Armor 2. Prove abundant casting. They cast a lot of spells. Oh, she's also gonna get abundant casting as well. Because Archmage Armor doesn't really help her that much. Well, persuasion. Anyhow. Sure. I want spell focus. I want her spells to deal a lot of damage. I also want her scrolls. Spell specialist. spell specialization would be very nice. So right now I would have to make it fireball. Well, I actually like burning arc more. Fireball. I'm going to take Still Focus Lord. Actually, I'm going to take Quick Spell. Let's see. Kinda want Grease. Grease can shut down that battle right off, and you don't have to worry about any spell penetration. Oh, this gets hard. I want Scorching Ray as well. I'm gonna actually take... Blur is good too. I'm gonna take Fox Cunning. And I already have Energy Communal. The Pits would be nice. I'm gonna go with the Blaster Fireball. And I'm gonna go for a Mythic. I want to buff up her fire damage. I think Spell Penetration is also really nice too. Let's go Ascendant Element. Already have fire. Worry about that. Don't need Arcane. I might do Abundant Casting. Spell Penetration I'm going to get eventually. Sorcerous Reflex. You cast a spell after... Okay. Let me reread this. You can cast the first spell after initial roll as a swift action if that spell is either first or if it's at least 2 levels lower. Just reflex. It's a gimme. Athleticism and Perception. I like Cleave. Also like Dodge. But I'm definitely taking out. I think that's everybody. Everyone should be a little bit strong. 7. Not my strongest, but he's strong. Which is base attack. Oh, why it shows 1. I think that's... Those base attack bonuses at 6. Attack bonus of 5. Attack bonus of 6 as well. Well. I could probably go Sword State with her, to be completely honest. Like, well, not Sword State, but I could go Duelist with her. But she already comes. I wonder if that'd be too. She has Archmage armor, so she's going to get rid. I could try it. I'm gonna try the build and see how it goes with her Archmage armor. Well, yeah. Alright, so everyone needs to rest. We're gonna continue working on it. But first we're gonna go... Oh, let me talk to her. Commander, allow me to say something. Urbeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was an agony drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through it on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Anevia's body, she might be some miracle. She might, by some miracle, survive. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Great Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that. She says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt the day when I saw Nevia alive, standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. Thank you, Erebeth. By the way, I found your scabbard with your family name on it in the Great Garrison. Erebeth looks down. The scabbard held the solemn hour, my family sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my family, with my heirloom willingly, to help someone dear to me. Anavia needed expensive healing, and having no other way to procure the money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I'm sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared with the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. I can see that you truly loved her. You truly love her. A delicate blush appears on Erebeth's cheek. She nods silently. Erebeth lovingly traces the name imprinted in silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or a coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it's worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see the solemn hour again, but at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. Well, Anevia, Erebeth, can I ask you a couple personal questions? Frowning a little, Erebeth nods. Please, but I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Where are you from? I was born in Conabras. I grew up on a farm just outside it, but my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be where I've always belonged. How did you become a paladin? A bitter smile appears on the half-orc's face. I don't much like to remember it. Believe it or not, the story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders. May their souls stand together in Iomede's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue their legacy. But my father was an orc. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he. But still, all his life, he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided, anywhere but Conabras. That was where my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters, led by the Honorable Prelate Hulrun, stalked the city with a heavy hand. He knows what they have done to a strange girl with green skin. Who knows? Excuse me. Instead, I went to a smirk that looks more like a painful grimace crosses her face. You can laugh if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose last wall, of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in a country that's been battling orcs of Velkzen since its foundation. There are many there like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than lepers' scabs. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me the powers of a paladin. But even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized the simple truth. I serve Iomade, not these people. I don't have to prostrate myself before them. So I left as a paladin, but not as a knight. It's probably hard for you as a human to imagine what it is like when the very color of your skin and the fangs in your mouth make people in the street turn their heel to avoid you. I mean, no offense, of course. Oh, I know what that's like. Thank you for your answers. Right, I have to go. Erbeth says goodbye with a short bow. Right, let me talk to Ember. Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wondering eyes linger on you for a moment before darting off again into the distance. I think I don't. Let's just rest then. First, let me choose from my mythic path. Archmage. Okay. Scroll of Haste would be nice, but I really want to just make some more mage armor. Most of the spells I actually restoration, sir. I've never been in a butcher's shop before, so how similar... Oh, I missed it. I do not understand how you can joke about this. I still have not recovered from what I saw in that place. Oh, to Lost Chapel. Ooh, that's dark. Too soon, my friend. Too soon. So, we're out some camp. It's pretty. I have to beat them. I don't know if I'm going to survive that fight though. That's the problem. I'm not very confident about it. Well, this archer doesn't really help me much. But I'm going to roll with it. Alright, let's just try it. Well, nonetheless, we're trying this one. Save. Here's to try. Oh, I didn't even have to. I don't have to fight him. So we might die here, guys. Yeah, I think we die here. So many of them. Yeah, we die here. So sure. That's why. Oh man, that was brutal. Oh shoot, that was an accident. Well, that's unfortunate. Yep. Yeah, this is happening. This is actually happening. Sure. We survived that fight. Yeah, we lost almost all of our archers. That was a dumb fight. I should not have done it. That was a dumb fight. Should not have done it. That was very stupid of me. To change. I love having seal up, but I'm actually gonna try it. Everyone loves Dayron. I could care less about it. Oh, I should probably see what his skills are. I can make him. Can't be a monk. I could give him one layer of. Splitter. I think I'll just keep them knights. I don't know what his dex is. Let's try... Measures extend. Like the... I'm gonna do the swift attack. Then I could probably get two. Let's see. Let's allow him to summon monsters. Let's... I like Hold Person, but I wish it... I'm gonna give him Eagle Splendor. Resist energy is always nice. He has decent decks. Would have been a great Scaled Fist Monk. Mythic Channeling.
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older and also a full-fledged crusader. An honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is. The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul. You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
How interesting. Inquisitor, I'm gonna say Hawkblade, whispers in your ear from behind. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing, nothing really. I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversation with his acquaintances, two people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, the priest of Iomade who was his guardian and tutor. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. He told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Dayren over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or cradles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him and encourages them to use their magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole Mendev, knows a story about the three drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was the matter of abduction, however. The gang of bandits kidnapped the Count, hoping for ransom. The reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into the case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats. But there was one disturbing fact about all of them, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads after they had already killed them. You know, my companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like these weren't a problem before Dayren joined the party. What? This is an alarming coincidence. Now we have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at the tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is to distract the master of the house. Right now, he is playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. The heads were... Oh, I already read. Okay, I understand. Good luck. Come back to me when the Count leaves. I will tell you everything I managed to find out, and maybe even show you something. Right, so I gotta go talk to the Count. Up the stairs we go. Up the stairs we go. Dayren, who has been watching the guests with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's continuing a conversation that was interrupted. I have always considered myself an athlete. Athlete? Not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought, I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row, and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. But I'll be damned if I know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the champion of a hero chosen by Yomade? Perhaps this is your chance to do something worthwhile. What do you want me to do then? Dance and waltz on Dresden's ramparts with a charming courtesan? Sounds worthwhile to me. So why did you really decide to throw a party at the scene of such a tragedy. What's this all about? Darren freezes. What an odd feeling. It's like I've been lying under the sun in a particular meadow in full bloom, and then you barge in to pour a bucket of ice-cold water all over me. Is this how you treat people who invited you to their celebrations? No, you don't have to answer. I could come with a polite excuse, but I'd rather match your courteous manners and put it bluntly. I do not wish to continue this conversation. Thank you for ruining my mood. I shall retire in my chambers for a time. The Count gives you a pointed, formal bow and leaves. Well, that worked. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show you whatever I find. The hum of voices, laughter, and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, then eventually coalesces to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning, heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you who she is. The family resemblance to Dayron is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day, my only precious, sometimes arrogant, but early beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests and the man of the hour as well? A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with a strong, dignified posture and a voice that emanates power. Can't we have just one day without your sermons? It's my birthday after all. 10 years ago, the young Dayron had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lacked the dignity of a true angel, however. Day, I'm sure the revered Nistrand only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what? What's that noise? Oh! The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. In the vision, a Lilitu appears before the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebrations, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me, too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I have already done everything I wanted to. Hey you, doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic gods and call upon your healing powers all you want, but they're not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves, and when I return, the grave realization will have already struck its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss to Dayron, making him freeze in terror and despairs. Litor shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temples. The first appearance of the disease in Lilitu, one of the many sisters of the accursed Minago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official version of events. What now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is there and distract them if needed. So go talk to Darren again. That's where he said he was going to retire to. Oh wow, this definitely looks like a festive party. People are already getting naked. Darren arches a brow at you, but he doesn't seem to be disturbed in the slightest by your entrance. He's not trying to cover up or get dressed any faster. Commander, I assume that you have an urgent matter that requires my attention. I'm absolutely confident that you won't be able to persuade Camellia to dance with you. Oh, now that is a challenge. I can imagine her graciously acquiescing or defiantly slipping deadly poison into my wine just for suggesting it. Such is our dearest Camellia. You've given me a brilliant idea. Doing Darren's voice is really hard. I don't even think I do a good job at it. I see that you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself. This vision might be rather difficult to watch. Young Darren stands motionless by the Countess' bed. His face is pale with fear, and a good reason. His mother's heavenly beauty is gone. Her smile, once beaming with vitality and happiness, looks more like a grimace of a corpse. Only her golden hair still glows, and a sad reminder of the healthy young woman she was just a few hours ago. Mother? Can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? The Countess' voice is fading. Don't come any closer. This disease. Mother, listen. The revered Nistrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, nobody will be able to stop it. He claims this is why the demon attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call for the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred the way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Narbus is full of clerics, wizards, and demons. Know who else? They might know how to stop it. We need to get there as soon as possible. We must obey the revered Nistrin. We are the Lord's Amended, and we must protect our people. If the plague, if it reaches Canabras, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about any innocence, Darren's voice rises to a shout. You're ill, Mother. You're dying. You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Canabras. They won't listen to me, but you are the lady of the estate. They can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still. A convulsion overtakes the Countess' body. Her last words were swallowed by a long, guttural groan. The Tur wearily rubs his temples, but his face is unreadable. Now I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Canabras to search for help because the revered Nistrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. Was there really no other choice? We can say now. They could have sent one of the paladins to bring help from Canabras, assuming that the Knight of God was immune to the disease. Perhaps Nistrin thought he might need them to maintain order, or maybe he understood that the demons would not allow anyone to leave anyway. Or maybe the plague was so strong that it could mow down even the most righteous warriors. We will never know if any of these hypotheses are true. Peter rubs his chin thoughtfully. I have never been in the revered Nistrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him. But we must continue our investigation. The next site I'd like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nistrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please help me clear the area so I can study it. Okay. I'm curious to see if he ever got Camellia to dance with him. He has such a crush on Camellia. It's kind of nuts. Oh, he did! He pulled it off! You're an extraordinary dancer, Lady Camellia. That is the truth, no flattery. You, Count, on the other hand, are an extraordinary liar, Count, and that is the truth, not an insult. That's funny. Hold on, I need to check something real quick. Alright, so now I gotta talk to Darren one more time. Ooh, I just realized that my audio is not coming through very well. I forgot to drop the sound. Bad on me. Sorry, guys. Alright, so let's talk to Darren one more time. There's a feverish gleam in Darren's eyes, owing to their tipsiness or some overabundance of emotion. Oh there, Konstantin. Camelia's frosty attitude breaks my heart, but that dance with her was easily one of the best moments of the evening. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? How about you, Darren? Are you having any fun? Of course I'm having fun, Darren says defiantly. What's wrong? Do you want me to spend my whole life in fear and mourning, blaming myself for what happened? Fine, let's change the subject. I thought the unique ambience of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we were on the very border with the World Rune would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Darren smirks bitterly. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the evening? You know, the more I observe you, the clearer it becomes that you're hiding something, or you're trying to perhaps run from something? Oh, now, I can't decide if you're talking like an inquisitor or a self-proclaimed confessor. I hate both equally, of course. And it doesn't matter if you are about to suggest that I pour my whole heart out to you or make an honest confession of my misdeeds. The very thought of having such a conversation makes my head hurt. I need some fresh air. Oh, Sela's having a good time. Here we are again, Commander. Litter looks grim but focused, so let's take another glimpse into the past. What spell is that? Speak with dead? I don't know. I don't know what spell that is. A ripple of laughter flows through the hall. It begins as a sweet, charming chuckle, but then it turns into a rasping cackle that makes Darren huddle even deeper into his corner. Why are you running from me, my sweet prince? Come on now, let me touch you. I'll give you. The booming voice of an old man dressed in Iomedean robes shakes the wall of the hall. Get away from him, demon. Let the boy go. By the blade of the inheritor, you touch him only over my dead body. You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of this charming little prince? Well, you guarded him well. You guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his body, and soon he will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. The demoness turns her eyeless face to Darren and licks her lips. A coarse laugh escapes the young man's throat. We'll see about that. The turns towards you in astonishment. Droplets of sweat glisten on his temples. Something's wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as expected. It's as if some kind of supernatural explosion occurred here 10 years ago. Blending everything together, the magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I will try again to read it. Could it be dangerous? I cannot say for certain, but it is unlikely. The past is the past, and no one can travel through time except some uniquely powerful entities like Aeons or perhaps the eldest of the first world. Pathfinder Kingmaker reference. Even though the past of this place is horrible, it poses no threat to us in the present. I see. Please continue. Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Darren, my boy, what is going on? The Tur's muscular shoulders suddenly begin to shake. The vision he is channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chilling silently infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry, old cleric, stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me! Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather, a new notion. Help brings the feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes the pulse stronger, more demanding. Date and secret come immediately after. The images become heavier and more visible. Secret. Keep the secret, otherwise death. Death, 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 death. The gruesome images whirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear, and then it all starts again. Help, exchange, secret, death. Mr. stretches his shaking hand, suddenly looking like a doddering old man instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. David, wait! That thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons! Darren's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from the cleric to the demoness, who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I'm so fed up with all of you! Burn! I should probably talk to him. Yeah, I should do that. Litter opens his eyes with a groan and then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrow is cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than I imagined. Does that mean you understand what happened 10 years ago? The Inquisitor slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still massaging his temples. Yes, no. Damn it. My thoughts are astray. I will try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor is completely useless in this case. It doesn't resemble anything I have ever heard or read about. This entity, I think I will call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. It was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's even worse is that this entity, this Other, it is still here. Hawkblade takes a long pause. His gaze is drawn to the chamber where all the guests are laughing and dancing. Darren's elegant voice rises above the music for a moment. He's asking someone to bring more wine and add more logs to the fire. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The Other is not inside the Count's body. It is not directly controlling his mind. That's why there's no obvious signs of possession, but it is looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into our world, and it can instantly step through to wreak whatever havoc it desires. What does it want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here, right? All this time, it has been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev. The other refuses to act. Or its interests lie in some other sphere. So could it be the other? Why we keep finding severed heads among our belongings back in Canabras? It seems very likely. I'm almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arende. Anyway. I do apologize, that was inappropriate. Perhaps my gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Canabras slaughter. Or perhaps they provoked the other in some other way. Are you alright? The strain, the emotion, they overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It's nothing, really. I will not be able to cast any spells for the rest of the day, but aside from that, I'm fine. Do you think Dayren is aware about all of this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the other tried to do? Convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret. Death. Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway without anyone knowing. This is what made Dayren deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Edge. So, it wasn't disease then that killed everybody, it was the other. Not everyone, just Nestrin, his paladins, and a few remaining guests. Damn it. I know that it was the work of a mysterious, omnipotent entity, but it stings. I was here 10 years ago, and I didn't check everything personally, and those who did failed to sense that something was wrong. Then we probably should do something. Yes, now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision despite a dearth of information. The Inquisitor falls silent for a moment. Then he looks you right in the eye. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologize to you. Second, I must ask you to keep this secret. Why should I keep it a secret? As soon as the Count finds out that we know his secret, the other will understand it as well. We do not know what it is and what exactly is the scope of its powers, but we do know that it will dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I've made my decision, he says gravely. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we've made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nyrison and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we are dealing with, how to possibly defeat it. I may also have some cautious inquiries in the other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I have found at least some reliable information. I am asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word about our investigations of the Count himself. So let me get this straight. You want me to lead this crusade with a ticking time bomb that might explode at any moment? I'm afraid you won't be able to hide from the consequences when the bomb does explode. It's up to you to decide, though. I can't promise you anything. It's your choice, Commander. Just let me remind you again. Be careful. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of your evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicion. I must leave immediately in search of knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Iomade guide your path, and later Hawkblade will try to keep your path to triumph as clear of any unwanted guests. Well, that's ominous. So, Dayron is Dayron because of the other, but he was also kind of a prick before that, too? Possibly, maybe? I'm still mad that yeah, I'm still mad that I lost my archers. Archers are really the real MVP of this game. To watch them just get, like, decimated like that was really painful. I was the big sad. I knew I should have healed, but I wasn't thinking I was not thinking straight at all. Let's see what's in here. Anything useful? Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it. Ooh, heavy shield. Oh, what's this? There's a door sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time. I wonder if that's where it is. Book. Crystal. Spirits. Gold. Maybe some bracers. A ruby. I think that's it. Oh, there's a... Oh, is that his mom? Countess Liana Neval. Ah, that's a long name. Erenday, with her infant son Dayron. Unlike typical aristocratic portraits, this one depicts a young mother having fun with her child on a seesaw. I think the mom was definitely reason for existing. His mom. Remember. Did I talk to everybody at this party? I hope I don't have to. Decorative plants are in a state collected for many years. I think talk to all this stream good. I'm kind of tired. This place gives me the creeps, but what a thrilling experience. So, I don't want to complain, but I'm not sure I'll be able to endure another hour of this outrageous debauchery. What about you, Camille? I like the party. It's a pity it's already coming to an end. Interesting.
Let us press on.
I'll get a read on that. The store is sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened. Okay, so there's a lot of sealed doors. I think we searched everything. Yeah, let's get out of here. Out we go! There are no big battles. What's the news? There is a common opinion that any party like this, one must inevitably end with a fight. If you're trying to encourage me to check this hypothesis personally, then I'd rather observe from afar. I like the new. Well, that just happened. I'm gonna try to get back to these archers. And clerics. Can you get there yesterday? Move! My morale's gonna drop a bit. Gotta rebuild up my... Got neutered that last fight. Morale's gonna drop dramatically. Yes, we're gonna take a nap. Ask people for the jobs. That Fink is a funny guy, Vernook. Although I'm not sure if we can trust the strange cave lizard. Oh wait. Yeah, beat me to the punch on that one. But never mind, I've always kept one in reserve. That kobold can even feign true intelligence. Just like you. No counterland? That's unfortunate. Couldn't pass. Okay, time to test out. Oh, this might be a hard fight. Yeah, I think that's what you can do. Konstantin. Yeah. 2 whole levels is brutal. But we have Death Ward. Oh, he took a negative level as well. Do I have a restoration? Oh, boy. Ooh, you got hit hard. Oh, she failed the... Oh, land is paralyzed. That's unfortunate. Where is it?
This is not my time yet.
And don't die.
Go on.
You've crossed the wrong month.
Go.
Our time has come.
Everyone. Yep. Restoration Central. That's unfortunate. Hey, they're in as well. Oh, I didn't teach him restoration, did I? Oh, still.
Lon, satisfy my curiosity. Has anyone ever mistaken you for an animal?
No. What about you?
Knowledge is the key to victory.
Missed me already.
Yeah.
I will not falter.
The levels suck. Already at the point. I'm sure.
Matricium Turinos.
I'm already at the point where I need to start using Death Ward. That's important. So everyone but Dayron was healed. Surprisingly okay. I'm gonna have to. Let's go back to camp, us from our soldiers, and call it in. Actually, I kind of want to talk to the queen. That's pretty nice. I am not kidding. Really figure out how to use.
We march ahead.
Queen crosses her hands and pensively taps her guard brace. It's been a long time since I've traveled like this, as just another face in the crowd. How do you feel living for so long beyond all natural limits? You're over 100 years old, my queen, aren't you? I'm not gonna ask that question. I think I'm just gonna ask for more soldiers. All the forces I could afford to spare are either in your army already or on their way here. We could call up volunteers, but if your quartermaster sends out letters and appeals in the queen's name, everyone will know that I came with you. The demons will not miss an opportunity. Their hordes will advance and overwhelm us. No, that is not an option. Talk to Erebeth, let her handle the volunteer recruitment, and my name will remain hidden, much like my participant. And don't forget I'm here. Katrain the Knight. I think it's Katrain? Katrani? Let me say Katrain. Last Need reinforcements. When we began the march in Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I order more volunteers to be recruited, they simply won't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to the camp, except I doubt that our army coffers could afford it. If you could spare 7,500 gold coins, I will see to our reinforcements. You know, it's hard to believe that your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than anyone who inherit them. Erebeth cheeks blushed a little. Thank you, Commander. It's an honor to hear that, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. You must have heard the recent story from the Stolen Lands. Ha! In the River Kingdoms. Just imagine coming from nowhere and making it all the way to the royal crown in just a few years. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I managed to distinguish myself somehow, but then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts, of course. We don't fight for rewards. The fate of our world is at stake, and yet Erebeth blush deepens as she falls silent. Right, so I'm gonna call it good here. Thank you all for joining me. I think the next few episodes we're gonna focus on opening up the way to Dresden and then taking Dresden. Honestly, I don't feel like I'm strong enough. I feel like I need to be like level 8 or 9. Feel underprepared, but it is what it is. So, let's go. Episode 15. Thank you all for joining.